Hey everyone, and welcome to Entitiy's first ever Halloween special, y'all. Now, before I do hop into the video, I want to tell y'all this is gonna be a little bit more different than anything I ever do. It's still gonna have gameplay in the background, but it's not gonna be me lively playing it. You feel me? Anyways, not gonna waste too much time. Before I do get any further into it, though, I want to tell you guys everything I tell you guys today and tell you guys right now is stuff that has truly happened to me and people around me. You feel me? So everything I say you do not have to believe, but it's things that have genuinely and truthfully happened around me and to the people around me. Now, without wasting any more time, you guys, let's get into Entitiy's first ever Halloween special. Story number one, the Hat Man. Now, we've lived in my house for a few years, and within the span of those few years, I've personally noticed various things. For an example, I've noticed doors opening and closing on their own. I've noticed weird noises and weird bumps at night. Hell, even during the day, if I'm alone, I will notice weird things. Now, I'm not the only one who has experienced these things. I had other family members as well tell me that they've seen shadows or weird things happening around the house. Anyways, let me not get sidetracked, y'all. My first encounter was this one night. I was up late editing a video for YouTube. It was around the time that I was editing, I believe it was my Junkyard Fury videos. I felt the need to get up to go get something to eat. I went to the kitchen, and as I'm heating up food, I noticed something. I, I kind of noticed it from my peripheral, whatever the hell it's called, vision. And, I turn to look, and I see like a little shadow near the entrance of my house. I think nothing of it. I just stand there patiently waiting for my food to heat up. Then once again I see it. I turn and I see it peeking in and out from the corner, like if it wants me to notice it. So it's poking its head in and out from the side. Whatever. Then a final time I look, and I kid you guys not. If you guys have seen the movie The Babadook, it looks just like that. But no face, nothing. It's just a tall man with a hat. A top hat to be exact. And it's just staring at me. No face, nothing. But I know it's making direct contact with me. As I'm looking at it, my food rings. I grab my food and I get out of there. Before anything, remember the details about it. It's a tall man with a top hat, because these details will be important for another story I want to tell you guys later on. A tall man with a top hat. No face, nothing. Just a shadow man. This isn't the only encounter I've had with the man. I've seen him a few more times, but he never really showed himself much like that. The next day, I did end up telling my mom, and she did not believe me. I do still occasionally see him around, but I try not to think too much of it. I never felt threatened by his presence, but every now and then when I do walk throughout my house in the dark, I can sense him lurking. I don't know his intention, nor do I know what he wants, but I know if he wanted to harm me, he could have and already would have. Story 2, the doll in the white clothing. Now, this is my grandpa's story. He did tell us the whole event. My grandma did as well, since, Anyways, without wasting any more time, let me continue, guys. This isn't really my personal story, but it happened to my grandpa. One night, my grandma was telling us she heard my grandpa making weird sounds in his sleep. He was in deep sleep, so my grandma sort of laughed it off, thinking he was joking around, since he does always like to mess around and prank her. But this night, the atmosphere felt off, she said. While my grandpa made sounds in his sleep, my grandma got up for a smoke, hoping by the time she got back he would wake up, since she knew it was a case of sleep paralysis. So she just let it play out. When she came back, she began calling his name. She said, "Wake up, you're making too much noise. Wake up, you're dreaming." Just then, my grandpa wakes up, and in direction of my grandma, in a serious tone, he tells her, "You scared her off. You made her mad. You shouldn't have made her mad." My grandma laughs it off, thinking he's just sleep talking. The next day, my grandma tells us the story, still laughing it off. Just then, my grandpa tells her, "Don't make fun of her. She doesn't like you scaring her off. She's already not happy with you." My grandma again laughed it off and joked about it. That night, nothing. The next morning, My grandma is unable to move and has to be rushed to the ER. She's okay now, of course, but at the moment in time, it was horrifying. The following day after she was released, my grandpa says, "It was the doll. You scared her off and made her mad, so she got you." After that, my mom asked him, "What did the doll look like?" He simply said, "She was a doll sitting on a chair. She was wearing a white dress and she ran off after she woke me up." That was the last time we ever heard about the doll, or my grandpa ever dreamt of her again. But we all still wonder about her from time to time, and what her intentions truly were. Story 3, my basement. So I always had a weird vibe about my basement. I never truly felt okay in my basement. For an example, I always felt like I was being watched, or like something was always watching me from the corner. The way my basement is, it's split up in two areas: the laundry side and the side that has absolutely nothing. I would have my gaming setup on the side that has absolutely nothing, obviously, and that's where I would spend the majority of my high school and middle school days. So one night in particular, I'm playing, and it was around the time everybody had just gotten off. It was about 9 p.m., 10 p.m. ish, around that time, and I feel like something's watched me heavily this day, and it's weird because I've always felt that in my basement. It's I'm like, Entity, this is nothing new, you know. So whatever, I continue playing. Then I see one of the lights that we have. The way that you turn on the lights in my basement, you have to pull them manually. So suddenly one of the lights went off on their own. And already then I had chills, but shit, I didn't think about it. I continued playing. I was playing Fortnite. I was mid game, you know. So I continued playing. Then suddenly I feel something grab my shoulder. And I thought nothing of it. So I'm like, oh, maybe I just hit my hand against the chair. Then again, I feel something squeeze my shoulder. I think nothing of it once again. Then I see a light flicker on and off. Then again, I feel my shoulder be pinched this time. And I don't know, I felt like fight or flight instincts kicked in, and I grabbed everything and I ran upstairs. Fast forward a few years, it was about last year. Um, I decided it would be a fun idea to do my own ghost hunting in my basement. So, me being me, I started playing Phasmophobia around the time, and I started taking photos. I started taking random photos, and it's about 5 a.m. one night, and I'm editing these photos. And I turn up the brightness all the way in one, and I see this: a fucking face of a man. Yeah, I'm getting chills even talking about it right now. I just felt like it was a really interesting occurrence, whatever, that I got that on camera. And yeah, it's just one of those things that I genuinely can't shake off. Story 4, the hospital room. This is my mom's story, and I remember her telling me it like literally the day after it happened. She tells me one night it's about 3 to 4 a.m. and she feels a really weird, like the atmosphere shifts heavily in the hospital room. And as she wakes up to look around the room, she sees a man pacing back and forth in her room, back and forth, back and forth. And as she opens her eyes even more, she sees it's a man with a top hat. And she told me that at that moment, as she looked up at him, he stopped moving and vanished. She told me after it all happened, the first person she thought of was me and my story of the Hat Man. The next day, I go visit my mother, and she tells me the whole story, and it just had me wondering if the Hat Man was able to follow her there, just how much of us is the Hat Man really following? And even to the person listening, could the Hat Man be following you?